Well, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever time of day you're watching this. This is Dr. K, and I'm out in the Garden of Eden with a possible storm brewing overhead, which the breeze and the clouds are making it a little bit cooler out here. Been a very hot day. So, welcome to the Garden of Eden, and I'm here to give another one of my little presentations, discourses, sermons, whatever you want to call it. That's just what I do. Blog, just strolling through the Garden of Eden and talking what I talk. Long before there was social media, internet, and that sort of thing, Facebook, Twitter, so forth, nothing really changed the environment. It's just more instantaneous and more constant communication and sharing. Prior to the internet, all the social media, Facebook, we had telephone calls, and this was without cell phones, and personal engagement. And I'm not on a rant against social media. That's not the point of this. So before you stop playing this, give me a chance here to get through and introduce what I'm going to talk about. People have not changed. There's always that person or those certain ones that everything seems to be in a crisis state in their lives. Their whole demeanor exudes just the downsides of life. Humans have been around for tens of thousands of years. They say maybe at least up to 250,000 years. Our physiological needs have not changed, and very little has changed except for the way we communicate, the tools, technology, the way we live, our caves, as it were, the way we farm or gather our food, and those kind of things. But our physiological makeup, you strip all that away, we're still basically the same Homo sapien that we have been, at least in recorded history, which may go back upwards of 10,000 years. But anyway, there's always an element of people that seem to exude this downside of life every day, every week. It's a constant expression of doom and gloom. There's always this situation that has come up that just, poor pitiful me. Life is horrible. How am I going to get through this? And on and on. In today's world, it's a flat tire. It's an economic situation. It's a breakdown. It's a physical issue. It's a pain. My back hurts. I've got a headache. I've got to go in for an operation. This, that, and the other. And we all go through similar things. We all go through the challenges of life. As one old saying is, don't sweat life. Nobody's gotten out of it alive yet anyway. But the reason I'm addressing this is yesterday, another famous entertainer allegedly committed suicide, and supposedly his best friend just a couple of months prior had also committed suicide. People reach a point of despair. Unfortunately, suicide is too common. People reach a state of despair that they just can't take it anymore. And what gets them to this point, and what your expressions, what you're sharing on a day-to-day basis, on a constant basis, can affect people in ways that you don't even realize. These people, if you read comments by their friends and family of the ones that maybe just, like I said, that committed suicide, taking their own lives, and so how often you hear, oh, they were such an upbeat, positive person. I just can't believe this happened. I just really don't believe they took their own lives. But they did. You never know what another person is going through. Not everyone goes through life asking for prayers, asking for thoughts, asking for help, and just expressing the gloom and doom they face in their lives. But when your public reaches out to anybody you come in contact with, whether it be on Facebook or whether it be at the checkout counter of the Walmart, everybody you come in contact with is your public. And the way that you choose to express yourself and the things that you choose to share with your public can affect their lives in a very dramatic way. If a person's already in a state of despair, they're already down, they've suffered maybe greater than you ever dreamed of suffering. You don't know what's going on or what has happened in another person's life, but you're constantly, it's a weekly or almost a daily thing that this other horrific event has happened in your life that you just can't believe it. How do I deal with this chronic pain? It's just awful. You just cannot understand what I go through just to get out of bed every day. Or, I've lost a loved one. We all, I hate to say, lose loved ones. That's part of the circle of life. That's part of what happens. If you are born, you are going to die. We all suffer this. The older you get, the greater the chance that you're going to experience a lot of loss in your life. Not everybody chooses to vocalize all these things that they're enduring. A lot of people internalize it, choose not to spread it out, as it were. And if they're already in this state of despair, if they already feel they're going through life with this dark cloud continually hanging over their head, and then you come along, and they have maybe from a distance viewed you as some inspiration to their lives because you, of all people, have this great career. You, of all people, have this great super talent, these great words of wisdom that you've shared, these wonderful things. You've posted pictures where you've been to the beach or Las Vegas or stayed in some nice resort hotel. You've got all these things happening that they cannot even dream of, but you've been an inspiration to them. But you have killed that inspiration. You've taken that motivation and you've buried it deep because you continually share every little detail of every little pain and suffering you've been through, even your sick cat or the loss of a pet or whatever it is. It's a constant barrage you're putting out to your public of all these things that have happened. This happened over here. I witnessed that over there. I'm experiencing this here, and it's all a downside of life. And this person already in a state of despair is now looking at you thinking, why am I even struggling? This person I thought that had it going on is going through despair. So you never know where your words, where your demeanor, where the stories you share are going to affect someone in a way that could push them over the edge, prompt them to consider or even carry out the act of suicide. Very sad thing. And we don't think about those things. We're all human. We all experience things. We have limited control over the challenges of life and the things that we experience in life. It happens, and it has happened to everyone. Before it was cars, it was horses that broke a leg, or any number of things. Before we had a Walmart to go shopping at with our money, it was failed crops due to a famine. The same things, different venue, if you will. So these things are nothing new. But we, in the way we express ourselves, the stories we choose to share, can inspire and motivate people in ways that we may never know. There have been more than one time in my life that I have run into somebody I haven't seen in years and years and years. and they want to come up and give me a hug and thank me for the inspiration I was. And this is somebody I don't recall ever having a conversation with. They were just part of my public. They were in earshot. They were in sight of me. They saw what I was doing in my life. They heard certain expressions or read certain things that I'd written, anything like that. And it affected them. Unbeknownst to me, it helped them to get through another day. It helped them to overcome a struggle and to see that behind that cloud, the sun was still shining and the cloud too would pass. You can be a motivation and an inspiration to others. That doesn't mean that you have to be a superstar. It doesn't mean you have to have amassed great fortunes, live in a beautiful home, drive a new car, or any of the superficial things in life. It only means that you have exuded a presence of happiness in your life, that you've exuded a presence of contentment in your life, that when people see you and they deal with you and they hear you and they feel you, they feel a positive energy. They feel this person is an inspiration and a motivation because they have made it. Now, there is a time and a way to share your downsides of life, and it is best done in an unselfish way. So often we share our negative experiences in a selfish way. How many times do you read a Facebook post? Oh, please pray for me. Please give me your thoughts. Send good vibes. I'm going through hell, or whatever. Or there's a GoFundMe page, or whatever the situation is. It's always, I need. It's like one sermon I heard a long time ago about people having eye trouble, and that's not E-Y-E, it's eye trouble. It's all about me, what I'm going through. It doesn't matter how it affects my public and those around me. You can make a difference in the way that you choose and the time. And that's the difference. The motivation is expressed by the time you choose to share your experiences. Like right now, I will share an ancient, if you will, experience in my life. There are many people going into their 30s, 40s, 50s. They're worn out with their careers. They've gotten laid off for their job. They're experiencing a lot of downsides of life. And they feel that there's no hope. I'm too old. I don't know what to do, and so forth. I woke up on my 50th birthday with my family totally gone. All my family had died. My mother died the day before my 50th birthday. It was a shock. I was not prepared for it. She was very active up until the last moment. She did not die in a hospital. She was driving the day of her death. She was cooking. She was doing all the things that she always did in her life. But she still died in her reading chair. I woke up on my 50th birthday with my family, my closest family members, totally gone, feeling all alone in the world. And totally, yes, in despair. It took a while for me to struggle out of that. Very few were intimate enough with me to know every feeling I had. I was not posting on Facebook anything about my losses. It was never shared on Facebook or social media that my mother had died, that I found her dead in her reading chair, that I tried to apply CPR, that I had to sit and I had to go through all the family heirlooms and memories by myself and a bottle of Jack Daniels, learning very quick that I'm not a very good drunk. I just couldn't finish the bottle of Jack Daniels. But regardless of that, not knowing where the rest of my life was going to take me, not knowing what I wanted to do with the rest of my life, it worked out. I didn't beg. I didn't plead. A lot of people express the word faith. a lot of people use the word faith. Normally, it's the very religious people that rely on the word faith the most. Unfortunately, faith is not expressed commonly as a action word. It's expressed in a passive way, as if I have faith it's going to work out, so I'm going to go about the same thing I've been doing. Nothing's different. Or I'll beg for help, or I'll cry on enough people's shoulders, somebody will reach out and help me. Faith is an action word. I didn't cry out, I went out. A new acquaintance of mine gave me a suggestion on a new career, and it blossomed. A whole new life started for me in my 50s. Now into my 60s, it's still evolving to even bigger and better things. Behind that cloud, right behind that cloud, you see the silver lining? It's there. The sun is there, and that creates the silver lining. Eventually the cloud disappears. That is something we have no control over, but time does change things, and we have the ability to change things with our time. This is Dr. K urging you to think about the expressions you use, what you choose to share with your public, how and when you choose to share it. Be an inspiration, be a motivation. Don't be adding to someone else's despair. Don't say and do things that will take away from their desire to enjoy and to love life. IOCCHURCH, that's www.IOCCHURCH.net. This is Dr. K, and this is the Church of Preparedness, and that's my message for today. I hope you all have a great weekend.